I thought I'd just sit down for a second and talk about macro photography, and at the same time test my new lens out and see what kind of video it's going to give me. They say that dedicated macro lenses have a little more contrast and a little more color depth or saturation as compared to other lenses. So I don't know, we'll see. I'm not sure if I've seen much of that yet. Maybe a little more, but I haven't taken quite enough pictures yet. But we'll see how the video looks after I get it rendered and uploaded and everything. But I did want to mention a couple things that I've come across since I've been using this lens, and just macro photography in general. You know, it's quite a bit different from normal photography. Just in a couple different ways. Number one, your depth of field is ridiculously low on a dedicated macro. I mean, you know, this lens is 2.8 on the maximum aperture, and it is so shallow that it is unbelievable. Even at f/22 it's shallow. But so it's hard to achieve focus. Therefore, it is time consuming, and you need to have some patience and be able to see that you got it wrong and try to get it right. It's not for everybody, I'll say that, but it is a lot of fun, and it's challenging. It's a lot of fun, and once you get the shot you were looking for, it's very, very satisfying. You know, a lot of cameras have the magnification function that'll tell you what your sensor's getting, and you can see that in your LCD before you ever take the picture. And just today I was on some carpet, my camera on a tripod, and I'm sitting there trying to get some focus, and I just simply stepped next to the tripod on the carpet, and it completely threw the image off. I mean, that's how sensitive, you know, that's the kind of sensitivity you're talking about. I literally blew on the camera from my mouth today, and it moved the image. So, you know, I used to think people who said that a good tripod, you need a good tripod, and the wind can blur your images, and the mirror flipping up inside your DSLR can blur your images. That's another thing I've been doing, is using mirror lockup. But anyway, I used to think those people who said that were exaggerating, but I can see now that they are not. They are not exaggerating. You need to do this stuff to get the perfect image. There's no room for error. If you want the perfect image in macro, you're going to have to perform perfectly. And, you know, nobody's perfect, I understand that, but you need to get as close as you can, and it is a challenge. You know, speaking of mirror lockup, you might not know what that is. They say that when the mirror flips up in a DSLR, that it takes about a 1/15 of a second for that vibration to actually calm down and stop. I guess they've done tests on it. So, you know, in certain circumstances, you're going to want to use mirror lockup on a DSLR. When you enable that function, what happens is you get the photo ready, and you press the shutter button, and it does not take a picture. It locks the mirror up, and then you use the self-timer or a cable release or whatever and take the shot, and that way you avoid that vibration. So you know, there's a lot of things that you need to kind of learn and relearn in macro, and I am no expert, believe me. I'm just barely started with a macro lens, but I'm not new to photography, and I know what it takes, and I kind of know the fundamentals. And now I believe the people who say that you need a good, solid tripod. By the way, plus I've been using my equipment more than ever with this lens. My tripod, my GorillaPod, a very small tripod with flexible legs, my wireless shutter release has come in very handy. And so, you know, that's some stuff you might want to consider getting as well if you're going to get a macro lens. I was going to mention also in closing here that you might want to consider actually renting a macro lens or even a telephoto lens. A lot of camera shops will rent you a very, very expensive lens for a day for 30 or 40 bucks at the time of this video. And so that might be worth a shot as well, to see if it's for you. Take it out for a day, take it for a spin, see if you know, you're gonna like it. So, hey, this has been a test of my 90mm macro. See what kind of video it gives me. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you next time.